Now, unemployed doctors in KwaZulu-Natal are staging a sit-in outside the Premier's offices in Pietermaritzburg over vacant posts. The health sector, this is the third protest in the health sector since January to highlight their struggle to find jobs and the broader crisis in the sector as well. Newzroom Afrika's Silethiwe Ndlovu has been tracking this story for us throughout the afternoon. She joins us now live with an update. Silethiwe, it seems like such an easy fix, doesn't it? There are vacant posts and there are unemployed doctors.
Certainly, Michelle, but for the province of KZN, or the doctors that we have here in the province of KZN, it doesn't seem that easy. In fact, they had hoped that perhaps the Premier himself or even the MEC for Health would have met them by now, but they've been here since the early hours of the morning and they are yet to be met by someone, perhaps just even to hear some of their cries. But I'm just going to bring in another doctor to speak to us more. I just want to start off by talking about, are you surprised at all that you haven't been met by perhaps anyone from the Department of Health or the Premier himself?
Thank you. So far, it's not surprising. It's been about 6 months of unemployed doctors of KZN trying to engage and interact with the department. On one occasion, there was a meeting that was scheduled by the MEC of Health, upon which that day, on the day of the meeting, she did not show up, and it was only expressed at the boardroom that she's not going to be in the meeting. From that meeting, we had requested if we could have another meeting scheduled, and we have been waiting since. Before deciding to come here for this third sit-in, we have tried to email them multiple times to request for a meeting, of which none of these emails have been responded to. So it's not shocking that they are not here. However, you would assume that after a whole 6 months of trying to engage, you would at least get some sort of response or anything just to say, look, we acknowledge that you guys are here and we acknowledge that you are bringing these problems.
So there's been no communication at all from the Department of Health over the past 6 months?
So it's not that there's been no communication at all. As I've said, we did have a few meetings with them before. However, if you tell me the MEC is inviting you to a meeting, then the expectation is that the MEC is there. If the MEC cannot make the meeting, then they must reschedule. So if you request for another meeting and you are told we will get back to you, and it's now 2 months later and there's still been no meeting, then it does feel like we are not getting much of a response. If we send an email and you get a response that just says, we note your concerns, and that's it. It's not enough of a response. It's not something that you can bring back to the rest of the team and say, look, this is what the department is saying. This is how they are tackling this issue at any point. It's a silent response, basically.
And that's actually my next question. So at this point, there's no response coming from the Department of Health. Where to from here? This is now your third sit-in. If no one does come out here to meet you, where to from here? What are the next steps that you are going to take?
Look, it's a difficult question. The expectation is that at some point someone has to hear our cries. It's not just for us, but it's also for the people who are using these services in the public healthcare sector. So if we are here, our only wish and our only hopes is that at some point someone in there decides, no, we need to come to these people, we need to address this issue, and we need to sit down and see what are the solutions that we can come up with to address the issue. As we are here, we are expecting that we will sit out here until someone actually does step out. We will continue with the formal communication of requesting a meeting, but this peaceful sit-in will continue until we get the attention that we require from the department.
Thank you so much for speaking to me. Michelle, as you heard from that conversation, the sit-in is going to continue until they get a response from someone in the department. They do state that they have tried to reach out a number of times, but it seems as if they've been unsuccessful. But at this point, from what we can gather from the conversations that we've had since this morning, we understand that there's many attempts that have been made by post-community service doctors here in KZN, and it seems as if, Michelle, at this point, they're just going to continue to have to wait a little longer as no one has actually come out here to meet them. Also coming from the Department of Health, silence at this point, Michelle.
bizarre indeed, just given the state of the healthcare sector in KZN. And of course, we continue to push for a response from all the relevant departments.